What's up? I figured it'd be a little easier to explain your training just like this instead of trying to type it out. Please excuse my hair. Took a nap earlier and it's pretty messed up. I think I got some bedhead there. But as far as your question says, should we do the components in the order listed? And I'll try to answer that as much as possible. And to clarify, you want the Metcons videotaped as well. As far as Metcons go, this 5 rounds for time. This is going to be really important for me to see the whole thing. It won't take the entire thing. Or it won't take over 10 minutes. If the video or if the workout takes say over 10 minutes, all these are pretty short workouts. um, Over 10 minutes, don't record it. Now, as for the Bluff City WOD and your workouts during your or in your gym, I want you to record. Record the workout, how it was, how you performed, and anything that you could tell me about that workout, because you don't necessarily have to film them. Any of the workouts that I give you, if I want you to specifically film it outside of testing, because I want you to film all of your testing. If I want you to specifically film all of your any Metcon outside of testing, then I'll specify that. The rowings are pretty straight. The rows are pretty straightforward. Just record a few sets, a few rounds of your row. Like to see a 60% and 100%. This is just for rowing technique also. And as far as your hike, don't bring a GoPro or anything like that on the hike. We are going to train 6 days a week. Two of the days are going to be, or one of the days is going to be rest day, which is Monday, and the Sunday is going to be an active recovery day. um, as far as getting the workouts in advance, if you could get the Bluff City WODs in advance, that would be excellent. So I could kind of know how to put the workouts into your training. So, or currently right now, usually with all my individual athletes, it's pretty hard or I mean, it's not pretty hard. It's easy to write workouts and then them complete and be able to complete everything. Your situation is pretty hard because you have to maintain that relationship between your gym and individual design. So we're going to work with that as much as possible. What I don't want to do is I don't want to overtrain a specific area and cause overuse and eventually injury, and that's not in you know of interest to anyone. So record everything that you can, as far as A's, B's, and C's and D's. As your first question here, it says components in order listed. Now, A before B, B before C, C before D. And then this kind of makes sense here. You'll press when we're at max, and then you'll push press. You should be able to push press more. Then you push, then you press, and then push jerk, and then the split jerk. So ideally, you'd be adding weight. But if you miss any of those more than 3 times, then just call it then. So I don't want you to miss the push press more than 3 times to establish your 1 rep max. As far as that goes, I hope that answers your question. Oh, there will be in your training. There'll be A's, A1s, A2s, A3s, A4s possibly. So if it's grouped up like, we'll kind of reply here. So A1, A2, A3, and then B, C. You'll do all the A's together. So first exercise in A, second exercise, third exercise, and then go back to A1, 2, and 3. So you may see stuff like this. So squat times 2 reps at 500 pounds, and then rest 60 seconds. and then we'll do exercise 2 rest, and there'll be specific rest times, and then exercise 3, and then rest. You'll see things like 2 sets, and then 2 sets, and then 2 sets. This just means that I want you to squat two reps at 500 pounds. I want you to rest 60 seconds. You'll complete that for 2 sets, but before you move onto your second set, you have to move on to A2 and then A3, and then you go back into 2 sets, right? So it'll be like the whole thing 2 times, right? So there are some things that we'll have to learn and get used to, but I'm pretty sure. Well, I can guarantee you that you'll be doing stuff outside of normal CrossFit stuff that people are going to look at you like, holy shit, what are you doing? And I want to do that. We also have tempo. Tempo is basically just a speed limit, right? So speed, you may have gotten into some of this, but I'm just going to go ahead and explain it. So a speed limit, basically we use tempo for positioning work. Position work, we work on getting into the right position. We focus on building strength and building efficiency and movement patterns. A tempo would look like this: 3-0 x1. It would look like this: 2-0-2-0. It would look like 5-3-2-1. It would look like, I don't know, 1, 2, 3, 4. It's four numbers or 4 characters in succession. X1, X2. So just remember that X is always equal to 1. Okay, so X is equal to 1 second always. So let's do this as a squat. And whenever you read this email and don't look at the video, you're going to look at all this like, what in the heck is he talking about? Basically, the first number here is the eccentric part of the movement. So the eccentric part of the squat would be the weight down. The eccentric part of the pull-up would be the weight down. The eccentric part of the overhead press would be the way down, right? So basically, what you're doing is lengthening muscle tissue. Okay, it's the opposite of working, right? It's basically the resting part. Okay, in the basic terminology. This is the eccentric. First number is eccentric. The second number is the say the bottom. Okay, so the bottom of the squat, it would be 0 seconds in this case. The bottom of the squat in this case would be 3 seconds. So, for example, this one is or it's going to be a 5-second eccentric, or 5 seconds on the way down, 3 seconds at the bottom, 2 seconds on the way up. So the third is the way up. Usually this third number would be an X or equal to 1, because you want to do your contractions as fast as possible, right, and focus on speed. And that's for the 90% of the time we're going to do that. X is equal to way up, and then 1 is the time at the top. Okay, so for example, 5 seconds on the way down on the squat, 3-second hold at the bottom, you're pausing, you're going to explode up after that 3 second, and then take 1 breath at the top, and then repeat the entire process, and you'll do, it may look like this. So 5 reps at 5-3-x1, and that'll be a tempo. That's not 53 reps and times 1, right? That's kind of what and how I prescribe tempo. If you need any clarification on that, then please let me know via email, or we could always talk about it. So I'm going to link this video to YouTube and post it right here in the email. Peace, and have a good time testing.